I'm a brewhead. I'm a brewhead. I'm a brewhead. And there's other brewheads out there too. How fucking cool. We had our second meeting and it was a good success. These here are an example of some of the beers that were brought over. These are, you know, professional mostly. And I'll go through them in a second. And two of which were homebrews, in addition to a bunch of growler, half-gallon growlers. It'd be about 2 liters for you metric folks. But one of the guys had speckled heifer, which would be like a light blonde ale. It's a clone of a Wisconsin, popular Wisconsin beer by New Glarus, their Spotted Cow. That was a tasty brew. Which some of that got left behind, about a pint and a half, which I enjoyed the following day. Very delicious. Another guy brought 2 growlers. He had a light ale, like a pale, and a porter. Both were decent. I enjoyed the porter a little more than his pale though. The dude that didn't bring any homebrew brought these bottles, except for one of which was mine. This guy here, Kentucky Bourbon Ale. Best fucking bourbon ale I've ever had. These are Black Husky. We'll go through those in a second. This one was a malt liquor that was rocking out at 12%. Totally tastes like a grape soda. Fucking 12%, man. Didn't taste one iota of alcohol in it. I enjoyed it. I liked it. I could drink that. Although I would get my fucking ass rocked. And this bottle was a homebrew a dude brought. The actual brewer himself wasn't able to make it, but the bottle made it, and it was a peanut butter and jelly ale, which I thought was fantastic. I really enjoyed the raspberry portion of it. It was followed up with some peanut butter. Had almost, it was like a nutty end. I was picking it up maybe clovish like, for lack of a better descriptor on my behalf. I'm not doing them any justice by any means. It was a fantastic brew, don't get me wrong. It's really given me the encouragement to move forward using raspberries. I'm gonna be doing that. There was 3 new people. We'll see. Seems like 2 of those 3 people have committed to join. So we are, I believe, 8 members strong. It's either 7 or 8. So that's pretty fucking cool. One of the new guys brought a growler of Wheaton Beatdown, a Northern Brewer kit that he had done as an extract kit. I'm a fan of extract. I have nothing against it. There's a lot of awesome breweries that use extract. So, let's just get that out of the way. There's nothing wrong with it. All you do when you're doing all grain is you're making your own extract. It's the same fucking thing. Either you're doing it or you're not. You know what I mean? But somebody's still doing it. Anyway, enough of that. So that dude, his name was Eric, he had Wheaton Beatdown, Northern Brewer kit. Pretty good stuff. That was rocking down pretty good. One of the other fellas, we'll call him a founding member. There's a core of 5 people that have made every meeting so far. So that's what I'm calling the core 5. One of the core 5 members brought an all grain version of the Wheaton Beatdown. So it was cool to have the comparison between the two. For being honest, the extract version was a little tastier. I got a empty glass in there. Oh, and then my brews that were ready at the time, I had morning stout and a Cascadian ale. Cascadian ale, I'm not the most pleased with. Those guys seem to enjoy it. They said they liked it. One guy that grows his own Cascade hops, he was really digging it. He seemed to dig it the most. My morning stout, which is about 5%, smooth, easy drinking stout. You know, it's almost, some people might consider it a porter. It's to me, it has a silky smooth mouthfeel, and she just wants to slide right down. It's tasty stuff for sure. That's why it's a house beer of mine. Just like a butchy smooth, easy drinkability. Fucking hey, let's go through some of these beers, man. Alright, so let's start off with Black Husky Brewing. They are out of Pembine, Wisconsin. These guys went up to the brewery and the dude showed them all around and was like, I don't have much time to spend. And 2 hours later, he's still showing them shit. So they had a blast. They bought a whole bunch of his beers. They totally loved them. One of the guys brought a bunch to the Homebrew Club meeting so we could sample them. And what they do is they rescue dogs, and each beer is named after an actual dog that they rescued, and it features that dog's photo. So in this first example, in this case, the dog's name is what, Lother? Must have been a Lother. And this is Spruce Juice Double IPA. Lots and lots of spruce flavors and aroma in it. I'm not a gin guy. I usually avoid pine as much as I can, but not wanting to, I'm not going to say no to trying a new beer. So I tried it. I can totally respect it. I don't think I could drink a bottle of it, a 12-ounce bottle. I don't think I could do that, but it's a fucking awesome beer. So obviously, like it says on the bottom, ale brewed with spruce. Fantastic beer for what it is. Just not something I would drink. This next one is a wit beer. What's this dog's name? This is Angel. Hey Angel. American White Ale. Ale brewed with coriander. That was probably my favorite of the bunch. I like wit beer. But this milk stout here, this was pretty damn good too. Had a little, I don't know, some hints of fruit or just a hair of sourness, which I found fantastic. This is BB. What's going on, BB? What are you? You're the milk stout. Yeah. Pretty cool. What do we got here? Pale Ale. This was the guy that brought these beers, his personal favorite. Howler. Hey, look at you. You're a pretty girl. And you're probably a boy. Either way, you're pretty. And what do we got here? Big Buck Brown Ale. Oh yeah, that was good. Ale brewed with maple syrup. Ba-boom. Here we have Nikki. What's going on, Nikki? Now I can see why it's a Big Buck Brown Ale. Awesome. Fantabulous. This guy, this was a homebrew. This was the peanut butter and jelly. Like I say, it's totally making me want to use some raspberries. I'm thinking maybe a mixture, 50-50, raspberries and cherries. Boom. I'm going to give it a go on something. And I had to pull out because I had just literally bought these the night before. Talking to my neighbor, I wanted to invite him to the meeting, seeing as it's right here. And I'd feel like an ass if we had too many of the meetings and I didn't invite him because I know he's a home brewer. I also know he's a busy guy and he's not totally into it yet, but I would have felt like an ass if I didn't get that invite out in the early stages of this. And he was telling me about this Kentucky Bourbon Barrel Ale that's at our local liquor store, and it's literally the best bourbon barrel aged anything I've ever had. Admittedly, it's the first bourbon barrel aged ale that I've had that was light in color. If you saw it from afar, you would think, wow, there's a refined lager. You know, like you would totally just pick it as a lager. It was crystal clear and amber at most. So, fucking tasty. That one's $10.50 a 4-pack. John also brought this malt liquor, which is totally like grape soda. And where is it? There it is. 12% fucking alcohol. Crazy. Premium malt beverage with artificial Flavor Flav! FD&C red, number 40. FD&C blue, number 1. 23.5 fluid ounces. 1 pint, 7.5 fluid ounces. Ba-boom. Loco! For local. And hiding back there, this was the Kentucky Bourbon 4-pack carton. This guy here is some orange blossom mead I made I guess a couple years ago. Some of the guys were interested in trying the mead they never had, so I had to bust that shit out. This one here is a jalapeno wine. This shit here was the orange blossom. Pulled that out because a couple of the guys have never had mead before. I've only brewed 2 batches and that's the only mead I've ever had, so it was kind of interesting because a couple of the guys have had mead before. So it was awesome in that I got to share, I got to let some guys that never had it before have it, and I got some awesome feedback from guys that have had it before and how mine compared. And in particular, one of the dudes was not a fan of the mead that he had tried before, but totally was digging on this. I did staggered nutrient additions for it. I've only, like I say, done 2 batches. Actually, I take that back. I've done 3. My first one I did with honey that my brother gave me from a beekeeper dude. And all my bros got the bees, so maybe I'll get some honey from him. He wants me to do a honey ale, blah blah blah. It was like 12 pounds of honey from him, basically a gallon. And the second batch was orange blossom that I bought. Again, I believe that was 12 pounds for a 4-gallon batch. And the third batch I did was just wildflower honey. It's pretty crazy. Homebrew Club has already had me try beers I would have never been able to try otherwise. I had never heard of Black Husky, and that's a Wisconsin brewery. I would have never bought it. You know, what are the odds that I'm gonna see it? You know, It is sold at a store in Waukesha that I get my CO2 gas from, but I've never seen it there. No, I don't know. I got to sample some Surly brews. I already told you about that. This fucking grape soda beer that's 12%. She tasted it and she's like, grape soda? I'm like, yeah, grape soda, that's 12%. The fuck? That's awesome. How crazy is a peanut butter and jelly brew? What? How crazy? Well, that's what I'm talking about. And it tasted like peanut butter and jelly. Peanut butter and jelly. Actually, this tasted like jelly and peanut butter. That's how it went. Boom. Fantastic. Bye. Bye.